In this next tutorial, I want to show you a secret advanced feature in Tracker. It's called Autotracker. So instead of manually trying to mark each point, Tracker actually has this kind of cool feature where the computer can try to figure it out. It's actually really cool. And this will probably be the future of motion analysis, where if you're a football player, lacrosse player, you do figure skating, whatever, you have sensors on your body, whether you wear some kind of wristband or whatever. It'd be nice to instantly collect data on athletic performance and then generate motion data with cameras without having to mark up all this points and all that. So anyway, let's create a new track, new point mass, and in this case, I got a new track I'm going to do, and let me rename this to something more intelligent. Why don't I track this complex right ankle motion right here? There we go. And then, instead of marking it manually by holding down the shift key like we did before, we're going to pick off the menu Autotracker. And there's a little wizard that will kind of step you through it. So the first thing you're going to do is you want to click the video feature. You're going to try to auto-track, which is the right ankle here. Then we're going to have the mask. That defines the image to be matched in each video frame. So the mask actually doesn't have to be very big. In fact, if it's smaller, it'll help Tracker target a small area while it searches. Okay? So now I'm going to just pick next. Then we're going to look at the target, and this is the offset that's relative to the mask. So all we do is we just move the target, and in this case it's going to be a little bit in front of the ankle. Okay? And we can adjust that later on if it's off. Then there's a acceptance score. We'll just leave it at the default. And then we have the search area, which is this rectangle. And the search area you don't want too big, because this is where Tracker is going to try to find the next point. So I'm just going to keep it something like this, nice and tight. But this motion's pretty complicated. We're probably going to have to adjust this as we go. Okay? Then when we're ready, let's go ahead and hit start. And what's cool is Tracker's trying to find where that rectangle is. And then here, it only stops when it gets a little bit confused. So you can just hit accept if you think it's pretty dead on, which is pretty close. You can skip it for now, or why don't you just manually mark it, apply some human intelligence. All you do is you hold down the shift key like before and click. And then Tracker will just try to keep going until it thinks it gets confused, okay? And actually this is pretty good, so we'll just go ahead and accept it. And then wow, notice Tracker finished up there. So I'm going to close out my Autotracker feature here. And if I scrub back here, looks like I actually have some pretty nice ankle data there. And again, you could always manually zoom in here by right-clicking. And I'm going to zoom in by a factor of 4, is usually kind of nice. And you can actually manually tweak each point. So any data point that looks off, you can actually clean up there. Okay? So Autotracker is just a nice feature to try to use automated intelligence to help speed up the data collection process. So in the future, this is probably what's going to be pretty normal. It won't be that crazy here to rapidly collect data so that an athlete and a coach can have quantitative information to improve athletic performance based on position versus time, velocity versus time, and acceleration versus time data.